Greetings. We are live. I am RJ Carter, your host for tonight, senior managing editor, something like that, here at criticalblast.com. We are hosting tonight for Paula Ritchie and IndieGenXYZ, which is the newest form of online convention. And we're hoping to learn more about that, but Paula is unfortunately AWOL at the moment. Been trying to reach out to her to see if she's okay. Hoping that the COVID didn't get her, or that maybe some storm didn't knock out power in her area. In the meantime, we will just continue on, try to entertain you as best we can. So, what do we do at criticalblast.com? Well, we try to talk to interesting people who are working in the entertainment industry. We do our reviews of products. We do our commentary on things that are going on in comics, in movies, in television, all that sort of stuff. So, you just want to pop by criticalblast.com. That would be the easiest and cheapest way that you could help us out, because you just get to read some articles, see what it is we do, and the ads will pay for themselves. Now, if you come in with a little bit of a itchy mouse finger because you like hitting those super chat buttons, please accept my apologies that that button doesn't exist here. We're working on it. We could use your help on that if you really, really have to have it. We are, at this point, 29 subscribers away from hitting that magical 1,000 button. I would love to get 29 subscribers between now and tomorrow, since tomorrow is my birthday. I'm not begging or anything, but I'm begging, please. 29 subscribers would be great. So, since we do review things, as I just mentioned, I'll show you a couple of things that just came in for our review. We will be looking at Harley Quinn Season 1. This is, we've seen one episode of it, and it is an animated, well, let's just say, when they say for mature audiences only, they mean it. I haven't heard that many F-bombs drop since I watched Scarface. So, we'll be checking it out. Also, from HBO, the Watchmen Blu-ray series is here. This one will be much easier to review because we watched the series on HBO, didn't everybody? But we'll get into those special features, see what they were thinking behind the scenes and why they were putting it together that way. And we'll have that review up as quickly as we can. Now, of course, things happen in life, but I expect it will be up and running as quickly as we can. If anybody sees Paula, tap her on the shoulder and let her know that we are here and waiting for her. Meanwhile, I would like to say that we've been having a tremendous amount of success with the LCS guys, the local comic shop guys, and our bi-weekly roundtable meeting. We're going to move that because we've been meeting every other Wednesday night during this whole comic book shutdown business. Just to find out how they're doing, how they're coping. We've been talking with Ewell Carter out in Berkeley, California, Michael Tierney in Little Rock, Arkansas. We've had Dave Dyer from Belleville, Illinois, and we've had Ryan Seymour from Columbus, Ohio. So those four guys pretty much cover a good breadth of the country to let us know why things are going in different areas. Like some stores were shut down, some weren't. They all had to deal with the Diamond shutdown. Thank you, Bianca. Appreciate it. Hey, okay. I'm going to click on your name before the night's over, and I'm going to go to your channel, and I'm going to become one of the next subscribers. So you will see that happen. If I'm not subscribed already, I thought I had, but if I haven't, I will rectify that. I promise you. But anyway, now that stores are opening on July 1st, or June 1st, not July 1st, I don't think they can take it, on June 1st, we have to move because Wednesday's a big day for comic shops. They're going to be selling comics. So we're probably going to move that to Saturday evenings. I'm going to confirm that with all the other guys, make sure that that's good for them. And Perch has been joining us as well. We are trying very, very hard to bring a Diamond representative on to the show for the discussion with them, because I think it would be a great idea for them to not be at loggerheads, but at least to be at the same table and have this discussion about the issues that they're having still with Diamond. So if you want to help us push that, you can go ahead and at them at Back the Comeback on Twitter. That's their happy little account now. And tell them that they should get on the Critical Blast show with the LCS guys and let them hash out the what they need, what the stores need from Diamond in order to, be profitable, be happy, be doing business again. Thank you for the happy birthday wishes. I appreciate that. And again, Paul is not here. We may end up rescheduling Paula, and I don't know what I will do because, let's face it, these live stream shows with a single person here, they suck. But when there's nobody to talk to, it. I mean, if I plan for it, then I'm ready for it. But I was ready to actually talk to somebody here, so we may just cut this one short and reschedule it. I hope Paula's okay. I mean, she's usually pretty active on Twitter, and we've had her on before for a great interview. So I'm a little worried. Maybe something as simple as just caught in traffic, or had dinner and forgot. Things happen, So we'll keep her in our thoughts and prayers here, and just hope and expect the best for her. So what else have we got that we can talk about here? Goodness gracious. Well, a lot of people collect Lego minifigures of superheroes, and I've been trying to get all the DC characters lined up, and I have not done it yet. However, I've almost completed a set of, not Lego, but the Happy Holding Hands Kinder Joy Justice League. Yeah. Okay. Yes, they are little cheap toys that came in those little plastic eggs filled with chocolate and whatever hazelnut spread. Yes, I've got to get fired up about this. So I can get fired up about Kinder Joys because I've eaten a lot of them. I'm not supposed to say that. Those are supposed to be saved for my son. So if he finds out I've been in his Kinder Joys, and they're chocolate, and just it's like opening up a can of the chocolate frosting again and just spooning it into your mouth. I'm not ashamed to say I've done that more than once, and probably recently. There is a Superman floating around the house somewhere, and when I find him, I'm going to connect him, and then we will have the entire set of the Kinder Joy Justice League here. So I'm just gonna set them over here for right now. I don't know. I like collecting the little superhero toys. I think we all did as kids, and we've seen them on eBay when we scan around. So I had that. Holy cow! I remember I had the entire Superpowers set when I was in college, because that was what was available then. We didn't have these super detailed sculpts that are out there now. You had what basically looked like a Super Friends figure with a little squeeze action thing. And right out of college and in my first house, we had an entertainment center. One of the Walmart solder things that you put together. My first entertainment center kind of thing. And right across the whole top of it there, in that cubby hole they had, I went out of my way to create an entire action diorama of the Legion of Doom versus the Justice League Superpowers version. I had, Green Arrow. Yeah, I had the Green Arrow, and that was cool. He was kneeling on a rock, and he was firing his little bow. I had Hawkman on the thinnest fishing line I could find, so that it was nearly invisible. And I had the fishing line taped up to the top, so he had his wings spread, and he was diving in, and it looked like he was actually in the air. Did the same with Superman coming in. I miss those things. I miss the Plastic Man when you squeezed his legs and his little neck popped up. I mean, what else could you do with Plastic Man except stretching in that direction? Same with Red Tornado. You squeezed his elbows together and his hips spun back and forth. You just do it real fast and he looks like he's on a tornado. And now those things, you find them on eBay and they're like, well, they're more than what they cost when I bought them in the store. Let's just say that. I would have loved to have seen those continue on, and there were probably some that I did miss. I think I missed Steppenwolf and some of the Fourth World ones. It got to the point where, they were putting out characters nobody cared about. And if I really wanted the scene to be right, well, you don't just buy a Parademon. That's like buying a Stormtrooper. and trying to put together a Star Wars scene, you have to buy multiples of them and flood the scene with them. And that would just get expensive. So I didn't buy the fodder characters. Now, of course, I can buy them all, I guess. I don't know what would be. I guess they do make parademons still for the new DC characters. I haven't seen them. Now they're just so expensive. $20 for an action figure. God, you don't even take it out of the box because you're thinking now you want to keep it mint on card. And I've, admittedly got some of those. So you can see in the corner back there. I've got some of those DC Universe handheld ones and a couple of the bigger ones. I've got the Batgirl from the Batman Unlimited, and then the DC Universe, the ones you can't see in the back there, the taller ones. I've got the Zatanna and the Vigilante, two of my favorite characters. Definitely was a huge Vigilante Adrian Chase fan when Teen Titans Annual came out. And we have Paula Ritchie with us. Awesomeness. There
hey, sorry I'm late.
Hey, that's okay. We're just glad you're okay because, we're sitting here thinking the worst, like, oh, the COVID got her, or she had a car accident or something.
No, my cat's got in a fight outside.
See, I told you folks, it was something mundane. It was a cat fight. Okay, you
Literally.
heard it here first. Paula Ritchie was in a cat fight. Now that's going to be all over Twitter, and we don't know where that's going to go. They okay?
Oh yeah. So yeah, I'm a little out of breath. I had to chase cats.
The fur was flying.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
we
how y'all
gave our
doing?
cat a bath today. So yeah, we gave our cat a bath today. So I understand.
Oh, that's always fun.
Yeah, and he's a Persian, so he goes from like this big around to this big around.
Oh no.
And he's been sulking around the house all day, just kind of licking himself and looking at us like, why did you do this? And then,
well, when you lose 90% of your volume.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's fluff. Nothing but fluff. A purebred Persian. So, all right. Well, we are glad you are here and talking about IndieGen.XYZ. And I didn't want to go on and on and on about it without you being here because I'd get it all wrong, I'm sure. Because all I know about it is it's sort of an online convention experience. And did I get it wrong already?
No, that pretty much sums it up. It's a pretty stripped down, simplified version of what you're looking for when you go to a Comic-Con or any kind of convention where you're looking for entertainment. People like all kind of different things, not just comics. A lot of people like books, they like games, they like tabletop and PC games and everything. And even shows like a lot of YouTubers, a lot of shows like this. And it's just that independent creators are scattered all over the place, and it's really difficult to find them in one spot.
Sure. And that's what I actually, when I go to shows, and I used to go to them far more frequently when I was 30 years younger. I went for the creators. Now I go to Wizard World now, and I'll have a table there for the books that we do. The Destroyer novels and the Critical Blast published stuff. But I don't see any comic creators when I go anymore. I see some cover artists who are independent people who, they've done work for Zenescope and other places, but I don't see, the name writers like you would see in the late 80s, early 90s going to, Chicago Comic-Con, where I would just, that's all I went for. I didn't go to buy comics from these vendors. I went with my comics in hand. I went with every single long box I had that my Ford Escort would pull, and loaded them all into my hotel room. And when I found out who was there, I would spend half the day in my hotel room digging out the books that I would then stand in line to get signed. But now it's craft vendors and some artists, but mostly it's just it's a flea market.
Well, yeah, and one of the things that I started off with doing when I was trying to get money together to have my comic Soulbound drawn is I started doing Comic Cons, but I didn't have a comic, so I made a lot of steampunk goggles, and I started face painting. And there's a lot of people there with stuff, but not so much original stories. Like
Yeah.
you can find any property that already exists, any mainstream IP you can imagine. There's either something you can either get a commission of that, or you can get a bootleg of that, even though you're not supposed to, or you can find all that. It's easy. If
They
it's
don't
ever
sell
been on
bootleg.
TV, it's easy to
They,
find.
they don't sell bootleg items at conventions, do they? I've never seen that.
No,
I haven't. I
not
may
even
have
those
come with a
splatter art
DVD.
Disney characters
Oh
that are
yeah,
just
that
run
too.
through the filter.
Yeah, yep, yep.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's art
it's art. It's art. It's been redone. It's
by a
we've done
computer
something to it to
program.
make it original. It's
Hmm,
bad.
for a value of original. Um,
Yes.
but yeah,
Some Blu-ray art.
it's a lot harder to find like the indie creators because you can't be everywhere, and now we can't be anywhere because
Yeah.
I've already had I paid in advance for 2 Comic Con tables for this year. This was going to be my year. I was so excited, and one's been pushed off to July, and one's just been straight out canceled.
Well, at least you got one pushed off. I mean, July still has a chance of happening, I would hope. Uh, the thing about the July one is that even if everything's open, it's like the Muni here in St. Louis, which is an outdoor Broadway theater. They've had to cancel uh, some of their shows, and they haven't even started their season yet. But no one's been able to get together to do all the advance work, no rehearsals
Hmm.
or anything. So it's cancel the show. Same with some conventions. If they haven't been able to meet as a committee and line up guests and do things, they canceled shows that would be able to be opened otherwise because of the timeline.
Yeah. Well, the one that was pushed off to July, that was supposed to be the end of March, and I had like that was during the last couple days of my crowdfund campaign. I was hoping to pick up a few more people at it, and you know, just missed out on it.
Just missed out. I mean, who saw this coming? Okay, I did not mean to
Well,
insist that the Chinese president saw this coming.
yeah,
Nope,
yeah.
nobody saw
Let's
this
not go
coming.
there.
Nobody saw this coming. Um, and and now it's like you sneeze and they're ready to shut your town down. So it's
Yeah,
just it's a weird time in the country, in the world right now. So
yeah.
to
So
get
we're all
around all
stuck at
that,
home.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're all kind of stuck at home. We all had plans this year. We all had big plans. Um, we were supposed to go to Comic Cons. We were supposed to be getting the word out. We were
Yeah,
supposed to do a lot of things. And right now, a bunch of us are, well, we're either bored stiff or we are frantically scrambling trying to pick up more gigs at home.
exactly. I say when December 31st hits, we just flip all the pages back on the calendar, start 2020 over again. It's this was we get a do over on this year.
I don't know if
And
that's going to save it.
that includes our ages too. So we get to stay. We lose a year on our driver's licenses and such. Um, so to get around all this, you've come up with a proposed solution for online conventions, which some people have been doing.
Hmm.
I know Zenoscope has been doing online conventions. How does IndieGen.xyz work? Different than or the same as some of these other ones?
Well, a lot of the ones that I've noticed online are just temporary. They're set up for a weekend, and pretty much I've seen a lot of Facebook groups, and what it is, there's a group and there's a post in the group, and everybody puts their business in the comments on the post, and it's not organized, it's not searchable. You just keep scrolling and scrolling and try not to lose where you are. And a lot of them are on existing platforms um, like on Facebook, or Jeremy Lott has hashtag TwitterCon, which is really great. But you have to keep posting that up every single day and hoping that more people jump onto it. But mine is different in that I'm creating a permanent site because indie invisibility has been a problem forever. Every other company out there that you've ever heard of, you've heard of it because there's a massive advertising budget and that they're not indies. They've either started out as indies and had to grow, or they've gotten, it's some sort of big legacy company. Like 90% of the world is owned by Disney now.
Yeah.
And they have the budget to reach people. And creators are doing their thing. They're creating, they're putting everything they've got into it. A lot of these big media companies, they're just sort of phoning it in lately. And yet, the better stories are not being seen. So it's a huge problem with invisibility, because if we were out there advertising, we wouldn't be creating. So anyway.
So the things that they get from IndieGen is, I'm going to say the 4-letter E word, exposure. It's not a 4-letter word, but it sounds like it should be one sometimes.
It should
but
be.
It's more than that. But it's more than
better
exposure.
than exposure. I wrote a post on the site, and it's the one before I have up there now. But yeah, you can check out the blog and see my posts on exposure. But pretty much, exposure is when somebody says, "Hey, give me something for free, and I'll give you exposure." And they just slap your name.
Do that.
Yeah, they just slap your name up somewhere, and random people may or may not notice it. Or they just put up your art and they don't credit you.
Yeah.
And it's exposure. And that's useless, because nobody who is shopping, who is in the mood to buy, warmed up and looking for you and looking for what you want, is going to even notice your big exposure moment. Now, at IndieGen.xyz, we're in phase 1 right now, where I'm doing a lot of data entry, and I'm entering a virtual booth for everyone, for each person. And I'm doing search tags for the categories. So there's the medium, the genre, the maturity level, and an option for state if you want to attract the attention of people who are looking for local talent. I figure state is broad enough.
Sure.
And some miscellaneous keywords that you can also enter. So this way, it's facing the audience. And it's important to face the audience, because that's who this is for. Now, we need to break out of the creator bubble. All the creators, they do 2 things. They create, and they talk to other creators. And then they wonder why nobody ever sees their work. They form a bubble, and it just has to do with their interests. But the people who don't want to create, they just want to get what you've made, after it's finished, and enjoy the finished form of it. That's the vast majority of people out there. They don't care how you wrote the book or drew the comic. They're just happy it exists. They just want to shop. And what they need to know is that it does exist, and that it is out there, and they're going to look for it with tags about things that matter to them.
So IndieGen is going to redirect people to where they can buy it, or are you going to actually sell it through IndieGen?
It's going to link directly to the creator site, where they already have their items up for sale. So I'm not hosting any sales pages. And there's, partly this is me not wanting to spend that much space and money on a website, but partly it's to avoid becoming Amazon. Now, what we really need is Amazon for independent creators, but Amazon is evil. I probably shouldn't have said that.
You just got us flagged.
But
Amazon can mass flag the stream.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's okay. YouTube people anyway.
Oh yeah, they're evil too. So yeah, I've noticed that what happens with the sites is that they come up with something that really helps. It helps independent creators. It helps small businesses. It Can you not do that now?
Okay.
Okay. Not you. Somebody is feeding the cats and it's really noisy and I can hear it through my headphones.
Cat's got
My child. Okay. I have lost track of my. Okay. So the reason why we don't want to be beholden to Amazon is because they take a percentage of your sales, for one thing, which, that's fair. If people are using their search engine to find your stuff, then maybe that's a fair thing to happen. But what they also do is there's been a few things where possibly some employees of Amazon have decided that they don't like a particular author and have just not put his book up for sale during release week, or it's been taken off. It's been taken down from sale. And there's a company called bookwalker.com. And a few years ago, well, quite a few years ago now, they actually, I think it was 2005, they actually won a judgment against Amazon for threatening not to sell their books unless they printed them through their publishing program. And there's little things that, well, they're big to the individual person who's putting up with it. Little things like that keep happening. And also the genres. If you try to search through certain genres, they're getting colonized by the bigger, more popular genres. So if you're looking for superhero on Amazon, you're going to dig through a ton of paranormal romance.
Ugh. That's not superhero at all.
No. And you're going to dig through a ton of urban fantasy. And it's really bizarre and strange how many places that erotica just pops up. It's in all the genres.
Yes. And depending on what word you searched on, Rule 36 is going to apply.
Yeah. So
you've heard of Rule 36?
Oh, yes.
Yes. Okay.
Let's not go there.
I'd like to search on superhero on Amazon and have it pop immediately up with Bulletproof Origins by Stephen J. Mitchell, published by Critical Blast Publishing. That's a young adult superhero novel that should be the first thing that pops up when you say, show me superhero novels. Get on that, Amazon.
If you would put that up on IndieGen.XYZ, I have a superhero genre category, and I could tag it as that.
Well, let's talk about how we can do that, because I know that there's an application process, which tells me that there's some sort of curation going on.
Yes, I am a real human being, and I'm looking at every single form that comes through. So far, there's not been like a huge influx, which is good. But I've worked out my schedule. I have enough time to put up, well, let's say more than has been coming in. But yeah. So I have a contact form up on Google Docs, and I'll need to know your email address. I'll need to know what name you want for your booth. It can be your name or your pen name or what you're doing business as. And a few things like, are you a creator? Are you a reseller? Or what are you? And what media? What genres? Sure. So I've got sci-fi, fantasy, horror, thriller, romance, superhero, comedy, mystery, action, artist alley, which it's not exactly a genre, but
there's always one convention, and this is a convention.
Yeah. Or you can write in, if it doesn't fit in any of those, you can write in what it is. So, and what the maturity rating is. So if you know that your book is young adult, or if you you have a publishing company, and if you are all about young adult, then you click young adult. If you have G through young adult or G through mature, then just click all the boxes.
Sounds cool. So
yeah.
How do you sustain this? I mean, when you go to a convention, it's not a charity because the people who run the convention have to make money. Are you doing advertising? Is there any kind of a fee or?
Now, I'm not charging a fee, but I do have an Indiegogo up. But pretty much, I'm running this on a shoestring, and the idea is that once there's like a critical mass of vendors with booths, and there's something for everyone, and it's going to be someplace where you can find what you want. I hope by October I can have, several. Like, I'm hoping for at least 200 entries in here in various media. Then I can start advertising it, and there will be enough shoppers to where everybody will be getting some hits, everybody will be making some sales, and I have my booth on for my comics, and I also have one that I'm setting up for IndieGen itself, which currently it runs, the link on it goes to the Indiegogo.
Now,
and I'll be making merchandise for it as well, like print-on-demand merchandise.
All right, because I was going to say, when you are trying to fund an operation like IndieGen.xyz, and the link for that, folks, is in the description below. So if you want to scroll through there and find out what it's all about, do hit those links, hop over there and see what's going on there. But normally, if you were trying to fund something that said, hey, I want to help creators and build this site, you would do a GoFundMe so that you would get money and put it all in there. With an Indiegogo, that's more of a shopping experience, and people expect something back for their funding. What kind of offerings are out there on the Indiegogo that people say, oh, I want to enter at this tier or that tier so that I can get back this thing that I see?
Okay, so currently all I have up is a virtual convention badge, which will be an icon to put on your website. It's going to be the graphic of it, and pretty much a tip jar. So
okay,
and
that's fine. I just wanted to know, how you were using Indiegogo to fund building the site.
Well, I was kind of hoping. Yeah, well, I was kind of hoping that I could put together like a swag bag of real objects, because I do much prefer real objects.
Sure.
Like stickers and pin back buttons and postcards.
Great.
Oh yeah.
I like to put it right there so I can do magic tricks.
Oh yes. It looks good.
Sticker does a great job with stickers for us. And by the way, if anybody wants one of these holographic stickers, just DM us on Twitter at Critical Blast. Let us know where you want one sent. We'll throw it in an envelope, stick the stamp on it, and it's yours.
Yeah, so I'm kind of
putting out the badges, sticker badges, if they wanted.
Yeah, but right now I don't have any funds up front in order to make anything, and I don't want to promise something that I don't have the means to do right at this instant. So it's
totally understood.
Yeah, I would much prefer to extend my hosting plan before I make any more expenditures.
Sure. So, was there anything that any one thing you can point to that said that happened that made you realize that this was needed, or have you been working on this for a while?
Yeah, well, I've always had an idea of it in the back of my mind for a long time. There needs to be a place that's not going to be completely taken over by sponsored ads and sponsored placements, and with the really annoying flash ads in the corner, and the pop-ups when you're like in the middle of browsing, and then that thing where when you're halfway through reading something and all of a sudden it refreshes and you've completely lost it.
Yes.
Yeah, it happens to me on Twitter all the time.
There are comic book sites, and I won't bound into them to explain that, but I'll try to read an article, and it's like it keeps jumping up and down the page as the ads in the middle keep filling up.
So I'm not putting any ads on my site. I mean, I don't care if I lose money on it at this point. I just want it to look nice and be able to shop on it. And nobody's going to come and shop through it if it's jumping all over the place and if it's cluttered with ads. I want to showcase the individual creators. This is important. This site needs to exist. It needs to exist so that my work can be seen, so that all these other really terrific creators that I have on here already, they can be seen. I have a lot of horror and sci-fi authors on here and some publishers. And, you know,
you're not charging anything for these people. I mean, it would not be outrageously out of the question for you to say, hey, a nominal fee is charged for this listing per year, even if it was like $5, $10. People would not really blink at that if they wanted to get a listing and get another link out there in the internet for search engines to pick up on and say, oh, here's a place I can go through to buy this thing that I just looked for.
Yeah, and I have thought of that. And, the thing is, if I take money from someone to put their booth up, then I lose a degree of control over whose booth that I put up. And I can't accept everybody, because I'm not going to be linking to any X-rated material on this site. This is a family-friendly convention atmosphere, and people need to be able to scroll through it without getting lost in pretty much the slum. And this happens to so many other sites that I've seen. There's a cycle to a new website. It starts out, like I was saying earlier, they start out and they go down a certain path and then they die.
Yep.
So a site can start off being really great for independent creators and for small businesses, and things work out really well. And then, one of two things happens. They get bought by a bigger company, like say Facebook buys it or Google buys it. And then that company either shuts them down or tries to monetize them.
Right.
Or they don't get bought and they just die. So
we haven't been bought, not dead yet.
So if it's bought, then they have to monetize it. And then that's when you start seeing new algorithms come up that bury some things and then bring the ones that have been paid for to the forefront. How you can't get, it doesn't matter if I have, more than 200 people signed up for my Facebook page for Other Realm Studio. They don't see my posts.
Right.
Even if I pay for them, they don't see my posts. And if I do pay for a sponsored ad, nobody's looking at it because we've all been trained to not look at the ads. That's all it is.
Like skipping the commercial.
Yeah, all it is more exposure that you pay for. There's no, you have to pay for a lot of exposure in order to get back any of what you paid in. It's not, nobody's shopping on Facebook.
This is true. Well, I wouldn't say nobody, because I've had quite a few links sent my way from the office upstairs saying, buy this for me, and then of course I say, okay, fine.
Nobody's shopping at random on Facebook. So then you get targeted ads, and those are creepy. So I don't want to be doing the creepy stuff or the stuff that pops up in front of your eyes and annoys you. And it's very much a throwback to the simpler days of the internet, where you go to one place, you look for what you want, and then you find it and then you buy it. It doesn't need to go like sneaking around in your subconscious, or however it is that Facebook knows exactly what you've been thinking about and didn't even say out loud.
Oh, isn't that scary?
Yeah. Yeah.
I,
Like I
I
was just thinking about having starting up my resin casting again, and there was an ad that popped up for molds to cast dice.
I
It looked
said that.
really cool, but I'm not clicking on it.
Yeah, I can't count the number of times where I haven't searched for something at all. But I've been driving. I've got my smartphone with me, obviously, and we passed by a mathnasium, and I didn't even say the name of it. I just pointed to it and told my wife, said we should put our son in there and help out his homework scores. And all of a sudden, Twitter starts promoting mathnasium ads to me.
Isn't that scary? They're
I know.
listening to you.
It's like Tom Cruise in what was that movie? The Minority Report, where
Oh
the
yeah.
pop up right to him and know who he was and what he should be needing. It was scary stuff.
Yeah, that's creepy. I don't need people in my brain. And I don't want to do that to anyone else either. And it must be terribly expensive to go and do. It also must be terribly effective.
It must be because it's like that Nigerian prince. I mean, if he wasn't getting money from somebody, that spam would have died quickly.
Yeah, why Nigeria of all places? Anyway,
Somebody watched Coming to America and thought it was a good idea, I guess.
yeah, like this happens all
So,
the time over there.
of course, absolutely. Uh, I wonder if there's any emails now going out from a Wakandan prince. That would be hilarious, I think, because
There
it's a real
probably
thing.
are. That,
Um,
that would be
one of the
interesting.
one of the things I always loved about conventions, of course, wasn't so much what I was buying there, uh, but who I was actually interacting with. Now, does IndieGen, are you able to take that kind of a next step where there's any kind of interaction, or is it just the here's the doorway to the booth you really want to get into?
Primarily, this is a doorway, and
Okay.
I don't want to turn this into a social media site because every other social media site I've ever been on, especially when you're dealing with a lot of creators who are feeling competitive, um, yeah, it turns into a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
So I want this to be neutral territory. And if we are going to fight, then we are going to compete on a field that matters, and that's merit. If we're going to compete on anything, we will compete on merit, and the audience decides. And we're not going to be doing any of this name calling nonsense or whatever else is going on that I have muted most of the words relating to. So there is a
If,
rating where you can do like a star rating on people's booths, but that's
that's a good idea because I would think you would want to keep track of somebody who's um, registered a booth at your site and then does or does not fulfill orders that went through it.
yeah. And so I can still be contacted through the site. So I've got a contact form, and you can sort by minimum rating and uh, rating from high to low or low to high, and I can check up on the general health of the site that way.
All right.
So if
Now,
somebody's consistently getting like 1 stars, then I can check and make sure all my links work and see if anything needs to be resolved.
okay. Uh, you might have said this already, but how many people do you have? How many booths are on the convention already?
Let me see. I'm right around 18, I believe.
That's not bad. Good start.
Yeah, let's see.
I mean, you've not been around that long yet.
19.
Oh, somebody
Yeah, I
clicked.
just put up Dylan's Domains Comics. And he's rated G and teen, and he's doing sketch cards and has action, comedy, fantasy, sci-fi, and superhero comics.
Now, this would
So
be, I guess, primarily for people who are going to direct fulfill. So, I mean, if you were a publisher and you didn't have direct fulfillment, but you had an Amazon listing, you don't want to redirect people to Amazon.
No, I can.
Okay.
Yeah, I really, as long as there's a site that will consistently fulfill the orders, yeah, I don't care exactly where it's from. So I have some of these authors, they're linking to their Amazon author page, and so that you can click on their name and it takes you straight to where they are on Amazon, and you can see all their books right there, and
Okay.
you don't have to search through all of Amazon and all of the clutter that they put in the way. You get a direct link there. And the one I just mentioned, the latest one that I put on, Dylan's Domain, that one goes to a Store Envy store.
Okay.
And let's see.
Now,
I don't know. If you go and you click on the booths, you can see that they go to different places. So yeah, so some of these are fulfilling their own stuff, and some of them are going through Amazon because that's just a reality of where we are.
Now, one of the things that you might explore is that you might want to get like an Amazon affiliate account. And
I used to have one a while ago, but I wasn't getting any traffic to my blog to where I could refer enough people to go buy anything. So my Amazon affiliate actually lapsed a few years ago. But with this, I probably could. I probably could do some Amazon affiliate links again. And if there's another company.
Yeah, and then put in the agreement that, if you're submitting an Amazon link, that it will be your affiliate link that will get applied to that, because otherwise people are going to send you their own affiliate links. We have an affiliate account with Amazon. And you'll be subterfuge, well, not necessarily subterfuge, but say, yeah, I'm sending you our own affiliate link to our own book so that we get a little bit of an extra boost on that. Just say flat out, any Amazon links are going to be run through my affiliate account because it helps serve the site, and I think people would be fine with that.
Yeah. Well, I do have an affiliate link for one of the publishers on here that, it doesn't add anything to your purchase cost. And, why would I not take advantage of that? But I don't have one up for the Amazon links as of yet, and I'm not really sure if I'm going to apply for an Amazon one, because they are evil, and I would hate to depend on them entirely myself. Although I can't blame other people for depending on them.
Yeah, we get like $2.50 a month off of them, and I'm sure they're making more than that off of me.
Yeah, well, I've had issue 1 of my comic up on Kindle since last July, and I may have made $10.
Yeah, it's
that's
so many.
That's nice though. It's better than nothing, and there are some people who have my comic on their Kindle, which is exciting.
Very cool. Yeah, we put books out before, and you see it's rated, it's ranked number 165,210th out of this certain genre, and it just boggles your mind to think, not that I'm that low, but that there are that many more titles out there that exist in this genre.
No, there aren't. It's all erotica and paranormal romance.
Oh, well, I'm writing the wrong stuff apparently. I need to get some sexy vampires out there, and
don't forget the glitter.
Yes, they've got to glitter away. I love when I was at a convention where somebody in a panel I was in the audience brought up the fact that if your vampiric effect can be bought at Bath and Body Works, you're not a vampire, you're a male hooker. So.
Oh wow.
Well, I am going to do some clicking tonight here, and I think I'm going to fill out a little application, see if we can't get as a publisher. See, we don't have a publisher page at Amazon. We just have independent books, but I want to get it as a booth. I don't want to have like a booth for Bulletproof, and then get another, which would be YA, and then get another booth for The Devil You Know, which is our upcoming anthology, which is more than YA. It has a couple of scenes in there that are gory. Uh, one brief sex scene that's not overtly porn, but it uses some words.
Yeah, so that would definitely be going in the mature category, but it wouldn't be that wouldn't be its primary purpose.
Exactly.
Yeah. So the workaround I have. Oh yeah, the workaround I have for it is that I'm labeling publishers as publishers, and I put all their genres and the range of maturity levels that they have. But each author can also get a separate booth for their books. So that way, if an author is published at like 2 or 3 small presses, or has contracts with the small press and they're doing the rest of their books independently, then the author will get to list all their books in one place.
Well, then I'll definitely do that, because as the editor for Gods and Services and The Devil You Know, it would show up there. But then I would also have, by linking my author page, I would get all these Remo Williams The Destroyer novels showing up as well, I would guess. So that would benefit me on 2 different levels to have an author's page.
Yes, so you can definitely have both. I don't think that people are going to get lost very easily at this particular convention, because you arrange the aisles yourself by going through the search and by typing in keywords. So I even have, when you go to fill out the form, you can do like random, or not random, but miscellaneous keywords that have to do with your work. If you have a series name, definitely put that, separate them with commas. And if you have one that's like a mainstream property, that's in the same vein, or that is an homage to a mainstream property, you can put IYL, if you love, and the name of it, right? So if you loved Star Wars and you have a book that kind of an homage to Star Wars, it has like the same feeling to it, or you've gotten a lot of feedback from people that says, wow, this is better than Star Wars, then you put IYL space Star Wars in your miscellaneous keywords. And that way, when people go to look for it, if you want the people who are specifically looking for that property, they'll type it in the keywords and they'll find yours.
Okay, so somebody would come in looking for Star Wars and they would find this thing that's, recommended to them because they love Star Wars.
Yeah, if they type it into the miscellaneous keywords in the search.
All right.
So,
well, very cool. This is this has potential to become something that indie creators should definitely want to take advantage of and should help them out. I'm going to go hit it up myself now. And, everybody watching the replay of this, I recommend going down to the description below and clicking on that. And also, be sure to go out there and pick up Soulbound issues 1 and 2 that Paul has done. Alternus printing those, right?
Yes. So I have issue 1 already, obviously, and I also have the PDF version of that, and it's available on Amazon on Kindle. Issue 2 I have not put up on Kindle yet for sale, because I'm still waiting on a couple more people to download theirs. I've just fulfilled this past week for the digital versions, and pretty soon I expect to have the print issues of Soulbound 2 in from Alterna.
And you'll be having those at your comic convention in July, we're hoping for you.
Yeah, I hope so.
Have
if they still hold it. The whole convention center was shut down and all the events were postponed. So
I'm at a convention in October, and that's far enough out that I'm hoping they don't shut that one down. But
yeah, well, the other one that was canceled entirely here was for August in the South. Who's
Lord.
going to be catching this in August in the South?
I understand it dies in 70-degree weather. We've had that for 3 days in a row now. We should be good to go.
Yeah. The Rona should have died of heat stroke by now.
All right. Well, we wish you the best of luck with it, and we'll touch base with it further in the future as it grows and evolves into something larger, we hope. And when you start working on Soulbound 3, obviously we're going to want to talk with you again then.
All right. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming on. We appreciate it. Everybody, we are closing out the show here. If you like this content, please do subscribe, hit the like, hit that bell for notification. Begging kind of overtly, but tomorrow's my birthday. I turned 53. We are 30
Happy
subscribers
birthday.
away from hitting that. Thank you. I've been the new 52 for a year now, and I feel like the old 52. But I would love to get 30 more subscribers before the end of tomorrow so that we can hit that magical 1,000 mark, because that's when you get rich on YouTube, as I understand it. It's what people have told me. That's where the YouTube gold is, right?
They keep moving that goal.
Yeah, we were monetized once before, and they moved the goal on us. So we finally reached out and tried to hit it again. So, but we'll see. Hopefully, we hit that 1,000 mark. Be a beautiful birthday present to me, and then we'll work on those hours of watched. I'll be probably rewatching a lot of my old videos to make that happen. Paula, we will see you on Twitter.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.